Hello, this is Sincere of Teacher Sincere's channel, and welcome. So I have a change of plans. I already have a video made up for tomorrow, but I'm going to delete that video because, as I mentioned in the previous one that I did about Chiltern Publishing, is that book video is entirely too long. So I decided that I was going to do something else. And so what I did today, I went on a search. I want to find out if my local bookstore carried any of the Chiltern classics, and it actually does. Okay. I called Barnes and Noble this morning, late this morning, really before just early afternoon, and I asked them, do you by any chance have the Chiltern classics? I said, they're these pretty, very pretty books with flowers, and she said yes. And I was just so excited. So what I did, because this is like my mother and I, our shopping day, we went up there, and I'm going to show you some clips from our visit to the bookstore. And I actually bought a Chiltern classic today. I bought Moby Dick. Yeah, so I'm going to show you some scenes from Barnes and Nobles. I must say that Barnes and Nobles has improved incredibly. I haven't been there, I think, in 8 years. And the reason why is because their stock of books was just not impressive to me. They have started carrying more international books now. I guess they realize that we're going to be able to beat that juggernaut, or at least survive that juggernaut Amazon. We're going to have to really have better stock in this store, okay? And one good thing about that is that instead of ordering a book, I can get a book there, and I don't have to pay the shipping and handling, only the tax, the sales tax. So it's really great. I'm just so excited. I'm going to show you clips from our visit. They have really improved the store. Whoever is the management at Barnes and Nobles is really doing their job, because what often happens here in the United States is that a store will end up having a lot of competition, particularly from a lot of big, huge corporations, and they cannot make it. Now, Barnes and Nobles is a franchise. It's not a privately owned bookstore, but it's not, it's not able to carry in the store as much as what Amazon has. Now, they have a website, but they're just not as popular as Amazon. And in the past, there were bookstores in my town like Books A Million, and all those bookstores are history now. They don't exist because when the internet came in, and when Amazon started selling books and all this other stuff, they just could not survive. But Barnes and Nobles is hanging in there. I mean, they are really hanging in there because they have really made their made a more diverse stock of books. They have more international writers. I see African American writers. I see African writers. I see European writers. I didn't go all over the store, so when you see the video, it's only a portion of the store because I mostly stayed near the front entrance and just sort of looked at their offerings there. And then I went to the classic section because we were sort of in a hurry. We had other things to do. And so I'm just really impressed. They're doing their job, because usually these businesses will just like commit suicide. I think about like Blockbuster, the old video store. They couldn't survive when Netflix came along, because Netflix initially, when it started out, and I tell my students this, that Netflix was not international. Netflix was in my country, and what they would do, they would actually send the DVDs to your home. You could reserve a DVD on the Netflix website, and they would actually mail it through USPS, the regular mail, to your house. And then they have an envelope with it, and you would mail it back and get another selection. So Blockbuster just couldn't survive. They in fact, their inventory, the quality of it went down, and they seemed like in the end, before they went bankrupt, like they just want to become a gaming store, video games, and they did not survive. But Barnes and Nobles, I'm really impressed. I really am. They are trying their best to keep in step with Amazon. I don't know if they're going to make it, but even though I like ebooks, I still love paper books. So I'm going to show you what I got up close. I actually got Moby Dick. Now, Moby Dick, unlike some of the Jane Austen books and the other ones that are more like feminine characters, you know, this novel does not have. I read this years ago when I read it twice. I read it in high school, which I absolutely hated. It was so difficult. It was. My English teacher wanted us to read it because we were a college prep class, and I read it either in the 10th or 11th grade. I think it was 10th or 11th grade. It wasn't until I got into university, and when I read it again, I actually enjoyed it. But I did not complete it in high school because it was just too difficult, and I had to go back and forth. The vocabulary was so hard. I had to go back and forth using a dictionary, and it was just so tiring. So I'm really looking forward to reading this book again after so many years. And this is what it looks like, the gold, okay, and the print is small, the way Comfy Cozy Up says it is. The pages are like glossy pages. They're really nice, but the print is small, okay? But this is what it looks like. This is Moby Dick, and I wanted to read it because I wanted to see what would be my impressions of Moby Dick now at age 61. Okay, I read it when I was in high school, probably age 16 or so, and then I read it in university when I was probably maybe about 20 years old. Another reason why I want to reread Moby Dick by Herman Melville. And Moby Dick was written by Herman Melville, who was a 19th century American author. Another reason why I want to read it is because I want to read this book, which was written several years ago, called Ahab's Wife. Captain Ahab is the main character in Moby Dick. And there is a short passage in the book mentioning something about his wife. Okay? And so this woman here, her name was Senna Jeter Neslin, wrote several years ago, I guess about 20 years ago, Ahab's Wife, or The Stargazer. And so I look back to see some reviews on it, and it has almost 5 stars. And it suggested that you have read Moby Dick before you try to read this. Okay? And it's a pretty thick book. It's over 700 pages. So that's another reason why I want to reread Moby Dick. And I had another book come today through the mail. This is a used book, but it's practically new. I ordered from Abe Book, this book called The Essential Guide to Freelance Writing, How to Write, Work, Thrive on Your Own Terms by Zachary Petit. I've been reading this book on Internet Archive, but since Internet Archive was sued and they lost the lawsuit about 2 weeks ago, access to books that are still under copyright, you can no longer read them now. Check them out for 14 days. And this is one of them. So I wanted to continue reading this book. It was published by WritersDigest.com. I used to subscribe to Writers Digest magazine back a number of years ago. So this one came in the mail and it's like new. I got it for like $3. I want to mention also the Chiltern books are hardcover. Okay, they're hardcover books. Okay, absolutely beautiful, gorgeous. Okay, I wish it did have flowers, but I guess what they do for the books that are the characters are female, they have the covers more flowery, and then the main character in Moby Dick is a male, Captain Ahab. It is not flowery like this. Okay, so but I'm going now to show you the clips from my visit to to Barnes and Nobles today, and it was really fun. I haven't been there in years, and I'm really enthusiastic about going. I know I need to stay away from there. I don't need to go too often because I will end up buying books, and I need to try to conserve my money. Yes, if anybody want to ask me about which books do I prefer? Do I prefer ebooks or do I prefer regular books? I prefer regular books, though I have a Kindle and I have a regular Kindle and I have a Kindle Fire. I like to read books online on my Kindle Fire tablet, and I love my Kindle, but it's really great. I can get really cheap books on it. I recently bought a book that I had been waiting for the price to go down for several years. I will wait that long. I am super patient about things. I will wait years for things. I'm really patient. So I recently bought a book that the Kindle price was pretty expensive, more than I wanted to pay, and the hard copy was more expensive than I wanted to pay. So I ended up paying. They had brought the price down recently to $2.99, and I was able to get this book. It's a book on a historical figure from Byzantine or the Byzantine Empire era. So yeah, but I'm going to end here and show you the clips. And so I hope you enjoyed this video. And so thanks for watching. And so until next time. I'm here today at the bookstore. I hate to be filming. That's just not me, but I'm just sort of here at the bookstore. Me and my mother. She's here over here next to me. And these are some beautiful flower books in the entrance. And here's some other stuff here. Really great. Oh, there's some Sudoku, word search. Oh, some wonderful stuff for Mother's Day. Knitting and crocheting, sketch. This is great. We'll go inside. My mother's here looking at the house plants. House plant book. You first come in here, and I see some books here. Some international authors. I see Ruth Ozeki. I read her, I think her Tale for a Time Being, I absolutely loved it. And Anna Karenina, I had that edition, I read it. And I have Pachinko. Here. There's Haruki Murakami. There's Nigerian author Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie. Probably not saying her name right. Oh, let's go around here. And you have Ralph Ellison, Invisible Man, I read years ago. Great African American author. Sula, Toni Morrison. There's Octavia Butler, Parable of the Sower. One of my students was talking about this book the other day. We were talking about Octavia Butler, one of my students in Brazil. There's Gone with the Wind. Yeah. So I'm here basically to look for those books. I'm here to look for the books, the Chiltern classics. But here, right here at the entrance, are some great international authors. Yeah, there's Brideshead Revisited by Evelyn Waugh. Yeah. Snow Country by Yusunara Kawabata. I've seen that one. I haven't read it before. Color Purple. So yeah, they've got right in the door, right when you come through the entrance, they've got some wonderful books here, international authors. This is the store. I'm just doing bits and pieces. This is the inside of Barnes and Nobles. And I don't want to catch people on camera because I don't want to invade their privacy. But yeah, this is a neat section here with a lot of books. Great books here. Yeah. So yeah, this is great. I don't know a lot. Some of these authors I don't know. These covers are beautiful on some of these books. Absolutely gorgeous. I see a good many African American writers, or I see what seems like African writers, the names. So this is really good. They really have gotten better with their stock, because I haven't been here in a long time. I stopped going and just ordered online, but I guess they've upped their stock and their game because there's so many, they have to compete with Amazon, and Amazon is like a juggernaut that they can't really compete with. Here is the nonfiction section. You see Bibi Netanyahu sticking right out right here. Yeah. There's by a Russian writer, Kutuzov, A Life in War and Peace, Alexander Mika Berazadze. I'm probably not saying it right. But yeah, they're doing better than they were. They were mostly just sort of keeping American and British authors, but this is the nonfiction section. Here's a book on Queen Elizabeth and Prince Philip. Yeah, so I have a lot of different stuff here to let you see more, sort of, yeah. So I'm going to stop it right here. Yeah, here's more views of the store. Over here, it's a big store. Oh, The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. That's one I recently put on my to-read list. And Daisy Jones and the Six. And, yeah, here are more. I feel kind of awkward because I've never filmed out from my home. Here's fiction. So it's really nice in here. They really upped their game, and I will be coming here more often because this way I only have to pay the tax. I don't have to pay the shipping and handling if I order it. If I order it online, I have to pay the shipping and handling. Finally, my cup of tea, the classics. Look at this. Beautiful. Look at this. Wow. And they have some of the penguin cloth classics here. Yeah. Let's see, what are these? Yeah. Penguin drop caps? Never heard of these before. Wow. I have the War and Peace cloth classics. Here's Madame Bovary. I just read it. Finished reading it a few weeks ago. I've got Middlemarch. There's a bunch of them here. And here are the beauties, the Chilterns. Wow. And there they are. Here's the Chiltern's classics. What do they have? They have the Jane Austen ones that I pointed out before. Wuthering House. A lot of these I've already read. Let's see. I thought they had Moby Dick. I was thinking, oh, there's Moby Dick in the corner. I was thinking about rereading it because I haven't read it in years and want to see what I think of it. There's Treasure Island. I already got that. Yeah. So, yeah. I will definitely be coming back. Yeah. A lot of them I've read. A good many of them I've read already. But yeah, this is my cup of tea. They've got more Penguin classics here. But I was particularly looking for Chiltern. That's what I'm looking for. Not the, but I'm glad to see they had the Penguin cloth classics. But some of them I already have. Yeah, so I will definitely be coming back to Barnes & Noble. Because I've been for years just shopping online. So, alright, I just wanted to show you guys a little bit of the classic sections here in my town at the bookstore. And I called about Chiltern classics before I got here. So, all right. I just want to do one last little shot in here before I leave. I'm getting ready to check out. But look at these beautiful greeting cards. Gorgeous. Absolutely stunning. Wow. These are great. Look at the little ship. It's made with actual string. These are so beautiful. Wow. Yeah, greeting card section in Barnes & Nobles. Absolutely stunning. Yeah.